Children need a limit. What are you doing when you set limits? Summarized our early parenting as the following. No, 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 no. You can't do it. No. Nature has neither rewards nor punishments. Nature has, as a parent, you frame it as if-then statements. I'm Terry Real, a family therapist with nearly 40 years of experience helping parents work as a team to raise connected, happy, relational children. What I want to talk with you today, just a little about, is the art of setting limits. I got this from my mentor, the great Pia Melody. Good parenting consists of nurture, guidance, and limits. It's the combination of all three that civilizes these little creatures that are in our care. I have two kids. One was a self-starting, self-regulating overachiever, and we kept telling him to relax. The other one was an ADHD, a nightmare. We had to whip with a noodle to get through school with his self-esteem intact. I remember with my ADHD, Justin, I summarized our early parenting as the following. No, 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 you can't do it. No, no, can't do it. No, get the finger out of the socket. No, not a good idea. And that was basically a whole lot of what we did in Justin's early years. He's a strapping 35-year-old, healthy, wonderful young man. Although we did save for his therapy early on in his development. Listen, children need limits. Children need to understand that life has consequences. There's an old saying, nature has neither rewards nor punishments. Nature has consequences. And as a parent, you frame it as if-then statements. If you do this, then that will happen. And you have to be consistent. That means the two of you have to be united and not undercut each other. If you do this, that will happen. As I said earlier, you cannot directly control your child. You can control the environment around the child. This is what you'll get. This is what we'll lose. And the getting should way outfavor the losing. Reward wherever you can, set limits wherever you absolutely have to. And what does that mean? What are you doing when you set limits? Well, you're countering, as we'll go into it in detail, you're countering what I call the other self-esteem disorder, not inferiority and shame, which is what we parents have been concerned about for 50 years, but grandiosity, superiority, being entitled, being above the rules. As a culture, we're not setting appropriate limits on our kid. They're being pumped up culturally to be a little entitled and grandiose. I don't know if you've stumbled onto that. My same son, Justin, had a saying about our hothouse elementary school that we sent him to. Shady Hill, he once said, where no one loses, you just win differently. So setting limits is about curtailing a kid's natural selfishness and superiority and entitlement and grandiosity. We have to teach them to be sensitive, to be considerate, to be thoughtful of others. This does not come completely naturally to kids. They deserve our guidance and at times our limits. When you set limits, first, empathize with your child's feelings. First, join with them. You have to earn the right to set the limit by being in a relationship with them in the moment. Oh my God, Stevie, that's such a great idea that we should all fly to Mars and start a colony there. You are such an adventurer. I think that is so cool. By the way, we'd all die because we don't have the technology yet to be able to pull that off. But what a wonderful idea. I wonder where we could have an adventure. First, say yes to the feelings, the wishes, the desires, and then set a limit on the behaviors, the agenda. A lot of people get that wrong. When you set the limit, be consistent and firm, which means that you have to have your partner on your side. This is part of our job as parents. You have to be willing to allow your kid to be uncomfortable. Life is uncomfortable. Don't shield them from all pain in the universe. It's a natural impulse for us as parents, particularly those of us who survived trauma. And I estimate that as millions of us. We don't want our kids to suffer, but suffering is a part of learning and life. When you're setting a limit, ideally, you are standing in for the universe, for society. If you were to behave the way you're behaving at home, out there in the world when you get older, the world will set the limit on you. You'll lose your job, you'll lose your girlfriend, whatever. And the world's limits will be less kind than mine are. So our job is to be compassionate to the child and contain them and guide them. Teach them what being social and relational and living with other human beings looks like. Don't assume that they already know. Good parenting is hierarchical. It's not a democracy. I love you. No, you can't do this. The last point I want to make is to separate the behavior from the person of the child. You're a good child. Get that hammer out of your hand. That is really bad behavior. Okay, well, there's a whole lot more to say about all of this. You will learn how to compassionately set limits in my new parenting course, Relational Parenting, Working Like a Team to Raise Connected Children. Click below to sign up, and I hope I see you there. Be well.